My name is Natasha. For those of you who haven't met me yet, Natasha Al-Hedaf Jones. I'm a member of the International Steering Committee. And we also have Kim here. She's going to be helping us out with all things social media and a little bit of marketing. And we're so thankful that you've joined our team, Kimberly. Thank you so much for being here. So please raise your hand if you are completely new to Global Water Dances. Great. You are very, very welcome. Please raise your hand if this is your first Zoom webinar with Global Water Dances. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, Anna. So I am going to, oh, and Lynn is raising their hand also. Not on video, but we definitely see your hand, Lynn. So I'm going to go through a few PowerPoint slides that some of you may have seen before. I will not spend too much time. Anna, you can stick around a little bit at the end of the meeting. I'm going to try to end the meeting a little before the original. I was planning an hour and a half, but because it's a small group, I think we're going to be able to move quicker. So hopefully you'll be able to stick around and I can really focus on you. I will show this, some of the slides though, because I think it's always great to have repetition, but I promise not too much repetition, okay? Because I want most of this session to be able to answer your questions. In the last webinars, we haven't really gotten a chance to really talk and exchange, and I really want to see if we can do more of that this time. Oh my goodness, so cute, future Global Water Dancer. So I am going to share my screen. Great. Give me a thumbs up if you can see the slide that says Global Water Dances. Great. And if you're just joining us, you're very welcome. We are just starting with the slideshow, so you haven't missed anything. So, like I said, my name is Natasha. I'm one of the people on the steering committee, along with artistic director Vanya Ibarguen and Karen, Gretchen, Martha, and Mary Lee, who all all four, Karen, Gretchen, Martha, and Mary Lee are original founders of Global Water Dances. So Global Water Dances, the mission is that we connect and support a global community of choreographers and dancers to inspire action and international collaboration for water issues through the universal language of dance. In a nutshell, what Global Water Dances is all about is participatory art and environmental activism. The where in global is all around the world. The what in Global Water Dances is what are we working for? What is our purpose? What are we here for? It's to raise awareness and advocate for water issues. And the how is that we use our bodies, specifically dance, but also other creative processes, including filmmaking. And some of our sites have partnered with visual artists to do amazing, visually stunning pieces, costumes, and what have you. But because we understand the importance of the body in this work, we do emphasize the dance. And really the dance is for everyone, not just professionals. So we have been doing this since 2011. We started with 57 locations and we've gotten as high as more than 170 in our last iteration in 2019. This year, we are delighted that we have so many registrants already. We're up to 115. I'll be honest with you, we were a little worried because of the pandemic, and every time someone registers their site, that worry just disappears more and more, to the point where at this point it's nothing. Like, we've got our community. We're excited that we can provide this opportunity in the middle of such difficult times to remember what's important, to get together, to inspire each other, to support each other, no matter where we are in the world. And we're really very grateful that the community is showing up. So this is a very quick breakdown. Traditionally, a global water dance event is structured in 4 parts. The first part is the ritual or the opening. The second part is the local dance. The third part is the global dance. And the last part is the participatory dance. That is how we've been doing it on one day since 2011. So every site around the world, for the most part, follows this structure. The ritual and local dance is an opportunity for local choreographers to really focus on what is important to them. They choose a site that has either water issues that need to be highlighted, or is just a wonderful place to celebrate. And they gather their community. We call these choreographers, oftentimes we call them site leaders, because sometimes the site leaders are not choreographers. Sometimes they're community activists. Sometimes they're educators. Sometimes they're environmental organizations. For the most part, though, they are choreographers, and they gather the community at a specific place and open the event with a ritual. Now, the ritual can be a traditional ritual. It could be a religious ritual. It could also be a simple statement of intention. Why are we here together? What are we here for? The local dance, and this could be one dance, or I've seen sites that have 10 different dance companies or community groups or children groups coming in and dancing. So one to many, those dances are all inspired by the local place and the local issue. The last 2 parts of the structure, the global dance and the participatory dance, provide an opportunity for everyone to feel connected. So we have our local issues, but water is a worldwide resource, and our issues often echo issues in other parts of the world. And so we try to remind ourselves that we are connected by engaging in the same movement. And that movement is the global dance. It's 5 minutes long. It follows a structured improvisation. We're gonna move that, if you would like to, toward the end of this session. And most of it can be, I've been in situations where people have joined the global dance and have never rehearsed it before. The movement is simple enough for any level of dancer to be able to do it, but deep enough where you can really get into your body. And if you're a professional dancer, you can really challenge yourself to move in a way that is site specific, but also emotional. It can be as big and as small as you want. But the point of the global dance and the participatory dance is to feel connected to the hundreds of sites happening around the world and the thousands of people that are engaging in this work all together. The participatory dance specifically, very, very simple, a 4-phrase movement. And the idea is that we don't want to just set up a separation between dancer and audience. The participatory dance is the moment where the audience is invited to embody the experience and be a part of the experience. So we're also going to do that very simple movement phrase shortly. And I've seen some very interesting things happening with the participatory dance in my experience. Sometimes as the organizer, it's hard to know when to end the event because people are just like, they break out into a party, even with this very simple movement phrase. So it's a moment in the event after all that organization where you could still be surprised. So that is how we have been doing it since 2011. That's the structure. We focused on just one day. It has been the second Saturday in June. This year, because we're celebrating our 10th anniversary, we decided more than a year ago that we wanted to extend the celebration to an entire week. So for this year, we're calling it the Global Water Dances Festival. And it's going to start on World Ocean Day, and which is June 8th. It's a Tuesday. And it's going to conclude on the Sunday, June 13th. And this is our schedule of the week. And I'm going to go into details about this. And this is especially for you veteran site leaders and organizers. This is the main reason Vanya and I organized a Zoom session this weekend, because we wanted to give you the latest information because we have clarity. We've been getting so many questions and there's been a lot of confusion, and we really want to clear up that confusion with today's Zoom meeting. So on the first day, Tuesday, June 8th, World Water Day, I'm going to tell you, imagine that June 8th is here. And we have done everything that we were supposed to do, and we did everything right, and everybody knows exactly what's going on, and we're June 8th. You open your phone, you open your computer, and what do you see? You see hashtags of GWD Splash Mob happening all around the world, snippets of 1-minute dances inspired by water. Maybe it's one person in Paris. Maybe it's one person in their bathroom in Indonesia. Maybe it's 2 people socially distanced at a park. Maybe it's 10 people that have all, joined their screens at the same time, and they're doing this 1-minute dance to this specific music that I'm gonna play in a second. And it's a social media campaign to kick off our festival week. Now, in order to get to that point, you need the 1-minute dance to learn it. It's coming, finally we have a specific date. It's coming on April 22nd on Earth Day. And we are gonna encourage you to look at that 1-minute dance, learn it, play with it, make it your own, or ignore the dance and just be inspired by the music, which I'm gonna play for you now. You'll see me going back to the Global Water Dances website often. So this is on the For Choreographers page. And you see here, do you see my website? Great. On June 8th, Global Water Dances Splash Mob. Download music here. So we have solicited movement from around the world, and Vanya and Martha from the steering committee are putting together that simple 1 movement phrase. But I encourage you to listen to the music as you're brushing your teeth. We're supposed to brush our teeth for 2 minutes. So play the music 2 times through, and then you've got your morning brushing routine right there. And, you know, come up with ideas and think about if you want to do it in your bathroom, if there's a fountain you want to go to, if there's someone else that you would like to dance this with. We call it a splash mob because we wanted to play on the term flash mob. The idea is not that a lot of people are going to gather in one space and then all of a sudden do the dance. Although if you can pull that off, feel free. The idea is that we're gathering on our social media platforms to start off the week. Any questions about the splash mob? Okay. I'm looking in the chat also, just in case. Wonderful. Okay, can't turn on. Yep, I see you. Okay, so moving on to do you still see my screen? Great. So that's the splash mob. And I'm happy to know that that's a little clearer now for you. Now, from June 9th to June 12th, we are staying online and we are going to have an online film showing. Now, imagine again with me, it's Wednesday, June 9th. You go to the Global Water Dances YouTube channel and you see Pierluigi's dance from Italy. Now, he could have chosen to share a 5-minute dance at a beautiful spot, and it was a solo. He was inspired by this space and he decided to play with the camera, play with water, play with distance, play with proximity, play with distance and proximity with the water and also his body. And he's basically taking us on a journey for 5 minutes. He's saying something poetic through the magic of film and video about what he loves about water. 5 minutes pass, then we go to see Trisha. Where are you, Trisha? I forgot where you are. You're unmuted, so you can just say.
Okay, I'm in West Australia at the moment, but I'm moving to New Zealand next week. So I will be in New Zealand for the dance.
Well, that's wonderful. If you're not too busy, I encourage you to take some pictures and some videos of some place really cool in West Australia, some cool water place. And say, this is my idea, not Trisha's idea. She's not going to do this. But if I was Trisha, I would do a film montage of what it is like to move from West Australia to New Zealand, keeping in mind the water locations that were near to me, but now are different. Something like this. It's playful. It is not about perfection. It is about experimentation. It's about creativity. We just want to get a window into your feelings and emotions and ideas about water. So say over the next few weeks, in order to make this happen, so we're back in the present day, in order to make this happen, between now and May 30th, you'll be filming solos, duets, dances at a distance with someone else online. You edit this down to 5 minutes ideally. If it's more than 5 minutes, we will consider it, but we are prioritizing 5 minutes or less because the only reason is because we want to include as many videos as possible. But again, we are looking, whatever you send us, we're gonna look at and we're gonna appreciate. So you film your work, you edit it down, make sure that you include credits. We wanna know, who was your filmographer? We wanna know who was your production assistant. You fill out a form And I'm gonna show that to you now. How do you access it? And you upload your video and you include in your application a link to the video so that we can read through the application to understand the context of what you were doing and also see the video. And then a week before the festival, like ducks on a pond, we'll be smooth sailing above the surface, but our feet will be paddling feverishly. We're gonna curate this and then present it on our YouTube channel on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, June 9th, 10th, 11th, and maybe 12th. If we have a lot of submissions, we'll extend it 4 days. Please, does anyone, okay, before I answer questions, I do want to show you where on the website you can get this information. So I'm back on the full choreographers page, and you see here, June 9th to 11th / 12th, if we have a lot of submissions, GWD online film showing. A little bit of background there, and you can click here for more details, and you'll be taken to a Google Doc with specific information, including deadline, requirements, guidelines, and again, the deadline. We really need you to hold fast to that deadline because we're hoping to get a lot of videos and we're gonna need time to curate. So you look through this, you decide, yes, I have the time. Yes, I have the energy. I'm gonna try to do this. You record your video. And then from this form or from the website, you can click here, film submission form. And there you have the form, again, with some basic instructions. It looks like the form you filled out when you registered your site. It's the same kind of Google forms that we're using. And basic information, you follow that through. I will pause to just highlight this. We want to encourage you to think about your filming following 3 categories. Water rituals, the second one is highlighting of local water issues, the third is the global dance. And we say global dance at a distance because we're interested to see how the global dance that we're gonna do later in the meeting can exist in an online space. We're very curious. Again, experimentation. So you go through that, you fill that form, and as always, if you have questions, you can get in touch with us at any part of the process. Raise your hand. Any questions about the Global Water Dance's first ever online film showing from June 9th to 11th? Questions? Yes, Trisha?
You know, you're talking about the whole editing and making a montage. I don't have those skills at this stage. It's not something that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anywhere that you can suggest to go for support and advice on that?
Thank you so much for answering that question. I forgot to point out, let's see if it's here. Yes. So our first webinar explored how we could support the community in doing this, knowing that so many of us, me included, this would be a massive undertaking, and any support we could provide, since we were asking you to do this, we tried to provide. So our first webinar was building a virtual dance community around the world. And this was led by Vanya, the artistic director, and a friend of Global Water Dance's, Matt Reeves, who is a dancer turned filmmaker. So if you go to the Google Doc and you press on, I'm not sure why, trust me, the link absolutely works. Oh, here it is. Copy link, maybe I'll do copy link, yes. And I'll open up a new tab. You will see the recording of that. Start recording. You will see the recording of that Zoom session. And it's just full of wonderful advice. But the main point is play. Make mistakes and see what happens. This was a professional dance filmmaker telling us all that everybody starts somewhere, and it's not about the equipment, it's not about the editing, it's really just about that initial inspiration, that initial spark. Follow that as far as you feel comfortable, and think of it as just your first attempt of maybe many more. Maybe, who knows, Trisha, maybe you'll end up being in 10 years the next big dance filmmaker. And you could say, oh, I owe it all to Global Water Dances in 2021. Any other questions? I think, Anna, you had a question about the film showing. Yeah?
Because you were speaking about the global dance at distance. I'm not sure I really understood what you mentioned.
Yeah.
Completely to involve that in the video. Like, could you unfold that?
Absolutely. I just put in the link. Here, I'll put the title too, so you know what it's about. Just so for quicker access. Great question, Anna. We don't know. I'll say it like this. If you perform yourself or a group of your community members doing the global dance, which is a 5-minute dance, feel free to submit that. And okay. The reason we added at a distance is because we wanted to pique your curiosity and pique your creativity. It's totally fine to submit a very simple, straightforward film. But what if, instead of setting up a camera, and you'll see Matt talks about this a little bit in the Zoom, in the YouTube link I just put in the chat. Instead of simply setting up a camera and recording frontally the global dance, what would happen if you played with the camera so that it was moving while you were doing the global dance? What would happen if you did the global dance on Zoom with someone in another part of the world? How would that change the final video?
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm not sure if I got that. In this 5 minutes, maxi 5 minutes video, yeah. Is that I could also create a video which is not including the 5 minutes global water dance, or it would be nice to involve both, like that there is something else, but also that, or
yes, I'm gonna say yes to what you just said.
Okay.
And I just need to point out, Anna, and to everybody, it doesn't matter what the question was, I would have said yes. Does that make sense? Like, don't worry about fitting any specific, don't worry about creating something that fits in a box. Like, the whole reason we're doing this festival is to see what you come up with and to support your creativity and to support your thinking outside the box. I will also say that a main reason we decided to go in this direction, although none of us on the steering committee have run a film showing before, Vanya is an expert at dance filmmaking. She did it as a part of her master's thesis, and she's been involved in festivals before. But our point was not to make a neat festival. We wanted to give people an opportunity to share their stories and their creativity, especially because we didn't know if we were even gonna have a Global Water Dances this year. And even if we did, we didn't know how people's local authorities were going to be restricting that participation. So think of this as maybe because this is your first year, Anna, maybe you choose, I don't want to do this. Or maybe it's perfect that it's your first year. So you don't have preconceived ideas of what to happen. My point is, and then I'm going to move on, go for it. Really just go for it. And email us and ask us questions, but we will say yes to almost anything that you say.
And one last question.
Please, Anna, yes.
The uploading is, how do we send you the video, or how do we upload?
Very good question. I'm gonna go back to what I want to show you. What do I want to show you? I want to show you the, I want to show you this. So all of this is very basic information. And then we get to link to video file. Give me a thumbs up if you see that. Yeah. Great. Enter a link so that we can access your video. Make sure the file is downloadable and include a password if applicable. Right. We suggest that you use the following platforms because we are very familiar with these platforms and we know that they can hold a lot of large files. Dropbox, Google Drive, Vimeo, WeTransfer. If you use WeTransfer, we're asking that you don't directly send the video to us. What you send is a link where we can access the video. In all of those cases, upload your video to whatever platform you feel most comfortable with. And if we need to do a tutorial on that or another Zoom just on that, let us know. It would be our pleasure. You upload to whatever platform you're most comfortable with. You send us the link and the password if it's necessary. Then we can go retrieve that video so that we can do the curation process. Thank you for that great question. I forgot to mention that. Any other questions about the online film showing? All right. That makes me just so happy. Back to the PowerPoint. And before the deadline was May 15th, and that wasn't fair. You need more time if you're gonna do this. So we extended it to May 30. So what do we have next? Okay, June 13th on this Saturday. This is for site leaders, choreographers, communities that feel very strongly that they will be able to organize a live event on Saturday, June 13th. If you do this, we encourage you to follow the structure. Section 1, ritual. Section 2, local dance. Section 3, global dance. Section 4, participatory dance. If you do not follow that structure, we're sure you have a very good reason. It's just a way to connect with what other people are doing in other parts of the world. We ask you, you do not have to do this, but we ask you to record your event. And at a later date, I will explain why. I don't want to add that to the fire right now. And we also invite you to live stream your event. So if you're going to have an event on June 13th, definitely, if you can, record it. Any way, shape, or form, take pictures, document it, I should say. Document it as best as you can. And if you can, and if you have support, you can live stream the event by connecting to Facebook and Instagram. And before I ask if you have any questions about this, I would love if Kimberly could talk a little bit about why we like live streaming, why we like splash mobs, why the social media aspect of our work, if you don't mind, Kimberly.
course. Hi. Good morning or good evening for some. It's 1 a.m. over here, but yeah, social media is such an important tool. And I think that we love to see you being able to tag us. Yeah, with our Instagram is GW Dances. But also on Facebook, you can tag us, and it allows us to be able to see and share and create community online, especially right now that we've been through a pandemic and we really haven't been able to gather in person. Social media is so important to be able to connect, and using our hashtags and using and tagging us on literally on everything that you do, it allows us to really see your process and everything. And we want to be able to put everything on our social media platforms. So I will send the links to our Instagram and Facebook. And I'm here to be a support to you as well. If you need any help, either learning how to tag or any type of social media questions, just reach out to Messenger on Facebook or the Instagram, the Global Water Dances Instagram, and I'll be happy to help you. But like I said, I'm here as a resource to you as well. And we will be posting more information and more resources to be able to get all connected.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Yep, that's the main word, connection, 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 connection. I am not on social media. The only reason I would be on social media is for Global Water Dances. And I think with Kimberly's help, I'm just gonna get over my issues this year and have her walk me hand in hand through the process, to not be afraid and to understand that it is a force of good in the world. And I just need help connecting to that part of social media. And I think Global Water Dances will be the way for me to do that. And I encourage you to be on that journey with me. Any questions about the June 12th, Saturday live event? About the structure? Yes, Anna.
Yeah, now what you just said, June 12, I got confused because the slide is saying June 13, so it was a little confusing. And you say Saturday, June 13, but so we talk about the 12th, right?
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna change that right now.
Okay, cool, but it's already clear. That's good. That's it.
Oh my God, that was a huge mistake. I'm supposed to be helping with clarity, and I just,
no worries.
Thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate that. Yes, the live event is Saturday, June 12th. Can I also say that you can do your Global Water Dances event anytime you want, before June 12th, on June 12th, after June 12th. I've already done mine because I'm in Switzerland and we don't get a lot of notice when things are locked down. And so I knew that I had a window. It was the day before World Water Day. And I've already had my event and I have my recordings and it's ready to be edited and shipped out. So if you do have access to a community that you can say, okay, let's do this on Saturday, June 12th, the world will be watching while we live stream, great. If not, do it whenever you can. The second thing I'll say about the Global Water Dances events in terms of following the structure. In the past, if you've seen a lot of the compilation videos, in the past, you've seen sites where like there are 10 dancers, 20 dancers, 50 audience members, 100 audience members. Does it mean more if there are more people? No. So if you, especially if you're just starting out, if you are overwhelmed, if there's so much going on, if your community is scattered, if your community is online and you don't want to do another online thing, so you rather take a break, it could really be one person. It could really be two people. What's the point? It's going back to that original slide, Global Water Dances. We're here using our bodies and our creativity to raise issues related to water. however that manifests is the way it needs to manifest. And I would be personally interested. I'm so curious about how all of this is going to come together. And I don't know how many of you saw the documentary that we broadcast on March 22nd on World Water Day. Maybe in 10 years, when we do our second, our 20th anniversary documentary, this is one of the things that we're going to talk about. How did the Global Water Dances community navigate this worldwide pandemic? This is how they did it, one dance at a time, one solo at a time, one group at a time. So I'm really very in awe, grateful, appreciative, and curious about what you're going to do. Any other questions about Saturday, January 12th live event? Okay, back to...
Can I ask, Natasha?
Yes, please. Thank you.
The live streaming of this Global Water Dance event, 12th of June, is like option or it's necessary?
Option.
Okay.
Option, option, option. I tried it once. I failed miserably. It was so overwhelming. If I had someone like Kimberly next to me, I would have asked her to organize that part of it for me. Option, 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 option.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, Anna.
Sorry, one more question.
The
handing in of the video, is that has a deadline afterwards, or? Yeah. Yes,
I love that you asked this question. I was too scared to put this out there because it's a second deadline and I don't want you to confuse the deadline for the online video showing and the video that you would send after June.
Yeah.
But since you asked, that means you're ready to hear the answer. The deadline for any video that you would like Global Water Dances to share with the world, either on our YouTube channel or as a part of our compilation video, will be June 30th. It'll be the end of the month. Now, you can write that down, but you probably won't see that on our website, again, because we don't want to put too much information out there and get people confused. We will absolutely be in touch specifically about that deadline as soon as the first deadline is passed, okay? But we definitely want to see those videos as soon as possible after the festival. Good. Wonderful questions, clarifying, yes, so happy. Any other questions before we go back to the PowerPoint for our last day of the festival? Here we go. So here we are, and I did correct it, Anna. Here we are, June 13th, Sunday. This is the last day of the festival, and we just want to get together and have a party and celebrate and have a cathartic moment and really just lift each other up and say thank you. We are a big international community, so we're probably going to have 2 sessions to do this. But the point is, we're getting together, we're going to share our stories, and we're going to do the global dance together and the participatory dance together. And that's happening via Zoom on the Sunday. We don't have time yet. We're going to really try to find at least 2 times that work for most of the people in the world. And that'll be the end of the festival, but not the end of your work, because then you'll be working on your videos and not the end of our work, because we'll be happily receiving the videos and Vanya will be putting together the compilation video. All right. There it is. What are the next steps? follow Kimberly's advice and get on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, be a part of our face group, Choreographers GWD. All of you are on our mailing list already, I'm sure. If you have not signed up, please do sign up. You don't have to know everything. We just want to see you so we know how to support you and we know how we can put you in contact with other people. Raise your hand, don't be shy if you have not registered your site yet. That's amazing. Yay! Email us with any questions. Stay in contact. And I'm gonna open this up now for the next 12 minutes. If you have to leave, you can leave. If you wanna stay for, you know what? I won't give us 12 minutes because I would like to do the global dance. But if you have to leave, please feel free to go now. We'll have a little conversation and then we'll move. And at any point between now and then, don't feel shy about having to zoom out, okay? So any comments, any questions? Yes.
What about financial support?
Great question. It's been a struggle this year, but we have not given up. I can tell you, I'm on the subcommittee that's looking at this. We have things in the works and they're just, I cannot give you any more detail than that. But all I can say is, believe me, we are working and we will continue to work up until the last minute if we have to see if we can distribute funds.
We can fill up the application form and then maybe something will come up.
Well, we don't want to put an application form out yet because, for example, some donors are interested in specific things. So we would have to make sure to ask for those specific things to address the donor's interests. So that's why you haven't seen any information about that. And it is a big regret on our part, but we're working on it. Thank you so much for the question. Trisha.
Can I just offer a possible pathway there? Because when we did it 2 years ago, I approached our local theatre community who were fabulous in also offering the tech backup for the filming and the sound. And they did back us with a grant to help fund costumes. Wow. So, you know, if you can be creative with your community connections, there may be, you know, sources there that will really encourage and support you. Also, our local water groups were very supportive. So, yeah, I would, yes, say don't be afraid to go out there and be creative. Thank you.
You know what this makes me think of, Trisha? We won't be able to do this for this year because this idea that I'm going to tell you in 2 seconds, because we have another webinar coming up. All of you should have received the notice of that in the one of the 2 last emails. Karen Bradley, Cecilia Fontanesi, Rebecca Barnstaple will be exploring the power of moving together, moving in community, movement choirs. The Effervescence of Dance is the title of the webinar. That's next Sunday. Please definitely register. Even if you're not able to come, register so that you have access to the video after. And then we're going to be working on grants and organizing how we're going to present the film festival. But I'm going to write down in my notes, Trisha, thank you for this inspiration. One of the webinars that we could have done this year is gathering people in the community to talk about what granting opportunities they had and the strategies they used to get that funding. That would have been, I think, very, very helpful. So I'm gonna put that on the to-do list to think about for next time. I have to write that down now. While I'm waiting, while I'm writing, any other questions?
No, let's dance.
Let's dance. All right, I'm gonna stop the share. I think I'm gonna do that. Pin myself. I really do want to write this note though before I. Great. Okay, so are you ready to move? Raise your hand if you have not done the global dance yet. Great. So before we put on the music, there are only 2 parts in the dance that are pre-choreographed, as we say. Everything else is a structured improvisation. So one of the pre-choreographed moments is the river. I will turn my back to you and do it, and then I'll face you so I can see your beautiful faces and bodies. And it is a figure 8 of the arms. It goes to the right, it goes to the left, it goes to the right, it goes to the left, it goes up, down, and around with the arms. Now you can do that very simply in place, but in the river section of the dance, we would be moving this through the space, and we can actually change our height and shift our weight a little bit. So it would go to the right, bum, 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 left, right, bum, bum, left, bum, bum, up, down, up, around, and you can actually turn. And this second time, let's move a little bit in the space. Right, bum, bum, left, bum, bum, right, bum, bum, left, bum, bum, up, down, turn around. And we're gonna do it one more time, and it's okay, beautiful turns, oh my goodness. The third time we're gonna do it, feel free not to even be in the camera. I'm gonna stay in the camera just so that you can see the movement from a different angle, but really take up as much space as you feel comfortable. So here's the third time. Right, da, da, left, da, da, right, da, da, left, da, da, up, down, up, around. Wonderful, gorgeous. And then the last time that we are doing exactly the same movement at the same time is the unison section at the end. And that starts by honoring water. Let me fix my camera. Honoring water. And then imagine a lightning strike to the ground, cross your body. I just realized that I don't know how to do this on the left side, but I'm gonna try. Raise your right hand. Let me see if this is gonna work. Right hand, right hand. Okay, so if I raise my left hand, it's like a mirror to you, yeah? It's like you're looking at a mirror? Okay. Oh my God, wish me luck. So we honor water for 8 counts. Right hand crosses, lightning strike down. That's your right hand, yes, crossing your body. And then your right hand goes up. And that right hand allows you to move backwards. And both hands come forwards like a wave and back again. Let's do that first part of the unison. Honoring water for 8 counts. Lightning strike, cross the body with the right hand. Right arm goes up, and where do you go? Backward. Now where do you go? Front. And where do you go? Back. Great. And now I absolutely have to turn around because I don't know how to do this other part on my left side. So honoring water, turn it up, back, up. So then we cross the body again. Right arm crossing the body. And then the right arm swings down so that we can jump and turn around. Here we go. Jump and turn around. And right away, out of the jump, cross your body with your left arm. Then switch again. It's like a splashing whirlwind movement. And then now the water is streaming down from the mountains in a diagonal pathway. Beautiful. And then we gather the water 3 times. 1, 2, whole body gathering. 3, and up and open the arms as the fingers trickle. Let's do that one more time. Honoring water. Lightning strike. Arm goes up. We wave to the back. We wave to the front. We wave to the back. Right arm crosses the body. Beautiful. Down, jump, turn. Right away, switch. Switch again. Beautiful. Mountain, stream. Gather once. How many times? And 3rd time. And our fingers, as our arms open, our fingers trickle down. That unison, like the river section that we do 3 times, that unison section happens 3 times also, and that is the end of the dance. So I'm gonna talk you through the structured improvisation, and feel free to interpret my words any way that feels right in your body. Be small, be big, it's up to you. And then when it comes to the time where we're going to do the river through the space, I'll do it with you. And the unison, I'll do it with you at the end, okay? All right, let me get the music. So the beginning, I want you to feel as if you are so dehydrated and so thirsty. You're in search of water. As soon as the music begins, the journey begins. And that journey starts with desperation, dehydration, and need. You have a lot of time here to really sink into that desperation. The music is going to change now, and what you hear are water drops. Raindrops. So what happens? You've been thirsty, yes. The first thing you do is you catch those raindrops in your hands. So relieved. Raindrops falling all around you. You're going through the space, catching them wherever they're falling. And you can start to drink. And as you drink, imagine that you are becoming the water that you're drinking. Pool that water together, and you can show that water to other people. And you're sharing that water. And now you're going to, like a stream, share the water to one side of your body and to the other side of your body. Imagine that you're in a line with other dancers. And here comes the river. around, traveling through the space. Left, right, left, all around. Really move now. You've got all this energy. And up, and down, and up, around, and now it's the time for the wave. Waving toward the computer, waving away. Big wave splashing towards the computer and away. This time, cross the space the other way. Splashing waves against the rock. Last one. Together and hold each other as if you can hold the hands on the sides of the screen, forming one big ocean. And with that feeling of oneness, you're a human again, and you can splash in that ocean and move with joy through the space. And you hear a call. It's a call now to come together for the unison section. You're going up. Lightning strikes down and up and back, coming toward the front. Unison section now and back. And cross the body. Jump, turn around. Mountain waves down the stream. Gathered water 3 times. Opening up and out. Underwater 2nd time. All the way up. Lightning strikes down. Arm up and back. Come to the screen. Away from the screen. Cross your body. Jump, turn. Cross. Cross. Mountain stream. Down the water. One last time. Honoring water. Here we go. 6, 7, 8. Lightning. Up. Back away. Come forward. Back away. Cross your body. Now it's the jump turn. Cross. Cross. Lightning. Stream down the water. Gather it. And open. Fingertips. Raindrops falling. Feeling the fluid move through your body. Coming back to the screen. You did so well. I saw there were 2 moments that I was not clear about. So I want to clear that up. In the unison section, there's a lot of crossing of the body and a lot of up and down. And it's sometimes hard to know which is when. So in the beginning, we have the honoring of water. That's super clear, yeah? And then it's I like to think, okay, so I'm up in the sky. I've let the clouds rise up. Now the clouds are heavy and thick, and there's gonna be a thunderstorm. Here's the lightning strike. I don't know what this is yet. If you have an idea, let me know. The arm goes back up again, and then I go retreating away from the computer. The wave comes to the computer. I retreat from the computer. And then here is the part that often gets tricky. I cross the body. Now, we have to figure out the story. What does this crossing of the body mean for us to go down and turn around, to cross and cross again? That's the tricky part. So we just went back with the waves, went forward with the waves, went back with the waves. We crossed. What's the story here? This is your homework assignment. What's your story? To go down and around and cross again. And a mountain, wave down, and then gather 3 times, and open, and out to do it again. So I'm not surprised that we messed up a little bit then, because I haven't made it clear in my story yet. Nobody messed up with the part of the story that I was clear about. So I encourage you to look at the score. I'm going to share this right now. So here is the movement score that we have for you. And this is accessible from the 4 choreographers page, and I can show you exactly where. So we started with dehydration. Then that's super clear. The music cue is super clear. The raindrop starts falling. And Anna, I don't know if you have looked at the video before, but you caught those raindrops right away. I was like, it was an intense moment for me. It was a moment of truth and understanding. Raindrops, then we have this rain in our hands. We have an instinct to gather because we want to make sure that we can preserve it for another day when we're thirsty again. But because we're not selfish, we show and share to others. And I don't know my story yet. Maybe enough water has accumulated that it starts to flow down the stream. That's this, number 4, standing line ripple stream. Maybe, I don't know. And then we know that streams become rivers. And that's that first improvised section, figure 8 with the arms up, down, and around, traveling through space 3 times. And we know that rivers empty out into oceans where the waves crash. And I like to think once we have become an ocean, and this year they changed the title. It's no longer World Oceans Day, it's World Ocean Day. One ocean, one climate, one cause, one community. So I like to think we have become ocean, we are one ocean, and now I can be a human again. And that's when I hold the hands of other people and I transform into a human and I celebrate before the honoring of the water at the end. That's some of the way that I have balanced my brain and my body in this dance, and I encourage you to do that too. Any questions? The sticky parts were clear, were evident. I hope that my going through it here helped a little bit, but maybe you still have questions, sticky parts, music questions about the global dance, logistics of it, creativity of it. What's on your mind? What doesn't feel right yet? Or what feels good? Totally fine, no answer. Okay, so that is the global dance. At some point between now and June 13, I hope you have an opportunity to do that dance next to a body of water. And I hope that you can do it with someone. And if not, you've got us on Sunday, June 13th that you can do it with. And one of the things that I've been thinking about for that last day of the festival is maybe I don't zoom in from my room. Maybe I take my phone out and I get Zoom on my phone and I put it on a tripod so that I can do the global dance in front of the lake that we have here in Geneva as a way for the rest of the world to see like the water near me. So maybe that's something, if it's possible, you can consider doing. The participatory dance is very, very simple. We're going to finish in less than an hour and a half, but I do want to take the time. It's very simple. The clouds go up, the rain falls down, the water comes in, the water goes out to everyone. It goes high, it falls low, it comes into us, it flows out of us to everyone. Whatever language makes sense to you. Clouds go up, rain comes down. We wash our bodies, the water goes out. To everyone, clouds go up, the rain falls down. We wash our bodies, the river goes out. All around the world, last time, and up, and down. Oh. And in, enjoy, and out, around the world. Hold my hands, hold my hands, hold my hands, hold my hands. Thank you, beautiful, lovely people. Thank you so, so much for your energy, for your questions. I really hope that the goal of this meeting was accomplished, which was to clarify the different moving parts of this festival of ours. Any last words before we go? Anything that you're still nervous about, excited about, questions, anything you have to say? I'd love to hear your voices before I have to hang up.
I'm confused. I'm sorry if I'm the only one, but about this.
You're not.
Okay, the 5 minutes video is for, let's say, for the Sunday, definitely. So we can tell, like, also teach that for the participants if it's not included in our own performance on the June 12th, no? So we can dance it together. But the 1 minute video is for what? It's for the, so I'm not quite clear about that.
Very, very good question. I'm going to go here. Because for me, it helps to have a visual.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like see. Do you see my screen or no? What do you see?
A black thing that says that you're trying to share your screen.
Okay. Hopefully this will work now. I'm gonna try again. Thank you for your patience. I think. Do you see the PowerPoint now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this slide. Make it bigger so it's a little less noisy visually. Okay, so on June 8th, which is the Tuesday, that's the day that we're opening up the festival with the social media campaign. The Splash Mob is the 1 minute dance.
Yeah, but I meant this one, what we just did now. This,
yeah, good.
Participatory.
I will skip then. So on June 12th, which is the Saturday, people will be doing global water dances events all around the world. And we encourage that you follow the 4 structures.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have a global dance event, no matter what day it is, but especially Saturday, January 12th, we want you to consider having an opening ceremony, having a local dance where you dance about the water in your place. And you also do the global dance, which is the dance that we just did. That's the 5 minute global dance that we just did, where we followed the story, dehydration, all the way to the unison at the end.
Okay, yeah.
And then at the end of your event, we hope that you can invite your audience members to do the participatory dance, which is the clouds going up, rain falling down, coming in, going out.
Now it's clear. Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for your question. And I want to say, Anna and everyone, I want you to become intimate friends with this page. Of course, it's not. Let me type it in again. So this is our website, globalwaterdances.org. And if you, depending on how big your window is, you will see either in the quick links to the side for choreographers, or sometimes you have, if you're on your phone, for example, you have to go all the way at the bottom of the screen to see this quick links. But this page is gonna be one of the most, if not the most important pages for you to find answers to your questions. So for example, there we have the link to register for next week's webinar. We also have the access to the Splash Mob, the online film showing, and more information as it comes for the live streaming. We also have on this page the structure of the event, sections 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're also gonna have a link to the last day. So feel free to go to that. I visit that page more than twice a day. I'm not kidding. And at first, when you go to that page, it's really overwhelming. There's like a lot of information, but the more you visit, the more intimately, you know, connected you are, and you can follow the structure of it. And as always, email me, email me, email me. Before I let you go, I do want to celebrate something with you. Well, first, let me ask, are there any other questions, including you, Anna? If you have any more questions, don't be shy. Yes, Michaela?
Yes, this new presentation which you present today, can we get it?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll follow up with the PowerPoints in an email from Vanya.
Because on the website is one presentation. It's really similar, but it's not really a new one, because in this one is more like every day more like, yes.
It's just clearer, right? So this is something that, you know, we definitely have to improve on, because a part of the reason that For Choreographers page is not very appealing is because it's all words, 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 words. Like this graphic, we're trying to figure out a way to update that page so that it's more visually accessible. So in the meantime, we'll send the PowerPoint and we'll work on cleaning up that page.
No,
I
the page,
totally agree.
I think the page is really, really nice for me, really clear. And the end of this page, this for choreographer. And if you scroll down, you have document, and there is already presentation like this, but I think it's not upgraded, because here it's more about every day.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the For Choreographers page.
And really down, and here is this presentation, PowerPoint presentation.
Aha. And here, right? This?
Yes, and I was check it now, and I think it's old one. It's not with these every steps like
yes,
you know.
Yes,
Maybe
yes. Oh,
maybe I am right. I don't know.
No, but I'm gonna make sure that it's the most up to date. I didn't realize that we had a link to the PowerPoint there. Okay, so I think it's gonna come in the email anyway.
Yes.
But thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay. Any other questions before I say goodbye? It's been so wonderful. So can you imagine, over the moon. Here is the other page that I go to when I just want to smile. That is the 2021 International Event page. And you see all of the sites. Again, we're up to 115. It's really worthy of celebration. And when I live in Switzerland, but I'm originally from New York. I zoom in to see what's happening in New York. And I just saw that my mentor and one of the founders of Global Water Dances, this is the woman that she initiated me to Global Water Dances. So I got to read what she's doing and just feel connected. I encourage you, if you ever just want to boost, like, let's see, you're in Italy, Pier Luigi, yes? So I can go by country and see that there's 2. Is he in Florence?
I haven't finished to fill up my sites again yet, but I will do it.
That's fine, but you're here. You're here. So after this meeting, I get to, like, you know, read a little bit to see what's going on with you. I didn't know you worked at the School of Italy in Manhattan and the Met Opera.
I was performing there, yes.
So I worked at New York City Ballet for 3 years. So we were neighbors. I wonder if it was, okay, so that's fun for me. And who else is in Italy? You know, it's just great fun. When Kimberly was talking about why social media, the point was connection. This is what I do to feel connected, especially in times when we're apart. And I just wanted to share that with you. And now I'm gonna let you go with a big, big thank you, a big heartfelt thank you so much for your energy, for your questions, and keep in touch. We'll be in touch. You keep in touch with us. Anna, I want to see more questions from you, okay? Never be shy to ask another question. Thank you, 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 thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
I do have a question. Are we staying now, Natasha? Like, are you showing me that you want to have a moment?
Yes, I would be happy to stay with you a little longer, with pleasure.
Cool, okay.
Okay, everyone else, thank you so much.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So Anna, where are you? I didn't get to see in the link where you are.
I really? I'm
in the chat. I wasn't. Oh, you're in Barcelona.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yay.
Sorry, can you give me a second? I just need to have a little drop of water.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, just a sec. Sorry.
I'm gonna drink some water too, actually. Zandy, am I saying your name correctly? You're muted.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Zandy. Hello.
How are you?
Good. I've joined your the Global Water Dance at 2019.
And where are you, Zandy?
Now in Hong Kong, but I have a question actually. I might moving to Okinawa, north of Japan.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether I can move because of the traffic now.
Yeah.
So maybe in Okinawa, maybe in Hong Kong. So what happened if I change side? Can I change the side at that moment?
So it's a very, I mean, what I would do if I was you, because, okay, I'll say it like this. Normally you can change your information, right? Once have you registered already?
Yes, already there.
And you're registered for Hong Kong, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to Hong Kong. Because normally, oh, you're the only one in Hong Kong, Sandy.
Yes.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah, it's last time also, the only one.
Wow. So normally, and this is, you know, maybe helpful information for Anna. So normally when you register, you can always go back in and change. So for example, you wanted to update your bio. I don't think you can change the site location though. So in your case, I would register another site in Okinawa.
I did. I registered for Okinawa and Hong Kong. But what happened, it just come out with Hong Kong. The second one is disappear.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, there's no Japan.
Yes.
So here's my question. Did you re-register? Did you fill out a whole nother form or did you edit your existing form?
maybe I'm not doing twice. I do one time. I only do one time with 2 sides.
So I encourage you, and you can do this right now if you have time and stay on the line with me and let me know if something goes wrong. I encourage you to, I'm gonna put the link in the, just so that it's super easy. I would go, Zandy, to that link and register again, just Okinawa.
Okay.
And see what happens.
Yeah.
While Zandy's doing that, Anna, you have more questions?
Yeah, I did know some things. What was that? Wait, but you got answered that one. I'm just about to do a couple of flyers, and I want to ask, how is that can we get maybe some of the logos? Or,
yes.
Could you send me per email the logos?
So if you go to the 4 choreographers page,
yeah, okay,
and you go to the bottom, we have here publicity tools.
Ah, yeah, sorry, okay, it's there.
Yeah. No need to apologize. And we have 3 logos. We have vertical, horizontal, global water dances, and we also encourage you to add the Laban Bartinieff Institute of Movement Studies logo on your flyers. Cool. It's not as necessary as, for example, the Global Water Dances logo, but we are a program of the Laban Institute of Movement Studies. Yeah, we say LIMS for short. And if that's something you could do, we would appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, cool.
Great.
Okay, that's nice. And then about the sharing, like I'm on this, not the same completely page, but very similar to you. Yeah. I do have some fears about this kind of social media and all that. I am on it, but I don't like to do that too much, but I am using this opportunity also to get over those boundaries.
Yes, yes.
What else? Is there anything else, or is just for the Insta, the hashtag GV, what was that? I don't know what we got to the link. Like this is what we have to tag in, so you can also reshare. Or how can I maybe get a little meeting with Kim? I don't know if that would be possible to have a personal meeting or.
Oh, that would be. You know what I would like you to do? You can email info.
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat at globalwaterdances.org.
Yeah.
And you can request support for your social media campaigning. Okay. And I have a feeling that you won't be the only one. So what we could do as we gather that request, we can organize a Zoom just looking at social media stuff. In the meantime, I would say, I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try to put it in the chat. These are our social media platforms.
Can you hold on that we can see, I can see for a moment more?
No problem. And I just put it in the chat too.
Yeah, so I can just copy it out. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I figured it would be easier for you to copy from the chat.
Yeah, yeah. Cool.
So for Instagram and Twitter, we're GW Dances. And for Facebook, we're Global Water Dances.
Yeah, cool.
And
okay.
Do you think you're going to be more on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter? Is there any one?
Twitter, no, but Facebook and social and Insta, I will be doing.
And so I'm also going to put this in the chat. This is a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming if you are on your Facebook page, you can type in choreographers GWD and have access to be that group or asked to be a part of that group. Mm-hmm. It's true that Kimberly would be able to better advise you on this?
Yeah. Maybe, I'm not sure it's a question to you, maybe it's to her, but a question, or it would be great, I imagine, for all of us. If we are posting, like if I'm now like starting to follow, because on Instagram it's called like this, that you start to follow the people. It's not that you become friends like on Facebook. So if I follow, and let's say Global Water Dances follows me back, after, if in the stories, I'm also just got to know that if I'm sharing, not a post, but I'm sharing story, the story is only 24 hours, I think, on the online page. And I tag Global Water Dances, then if Kim is doing this work, for example, she would be able to share my story, what I'm putting off, like open call, on Global Water Dances page. So this is possible. Like, can you ask Kim about this? It would be nice to know that. Shall I always tag Global Water Dances on Insta and so on, that she's able to repost my things and reshare and so on, because I guess that would be great.
Yes. I'm going to ask that question of her, and I'm going to, I'll make sure that it's clear that this is your question. But again, I'm happy you're asking that question, because I'm sure that's something that other people would appreciate, and especially people that are new to social media. So
I mean, it just makes us much more connected, I'm imagining. So it's kind of can be a must to put this, like the hashtag GV because then you have the possibility to just access and repost our posts. So you become full with all the things that happen.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I do remember hearing Vanya and Kim say tag a lot. Okay, so I think I'm sure you are right. I trust you more than me. I wanted to say something else about social media for you, but I can't remember. But I did make a note of it, and I'm going to reach out to Kim, your request.
Yeah, and then a question in more the topic, the ritual opening, what you were saying, that it's nice to start like that. It's something like I could just think of, right? To have like when the people are coming into space. I'm doing it in a space which is how to say, is a lab. They are calling them the Nest in Barcelona, which is like a lot of people who are having different companies working in environmental friendly and sustainable way to be, let's say.
Wow, so cool.
You could call it a co-working, but they don't want to call it really a co-working, because they want to see it really as a with each other, also managing a way to work together on a way that I see you as a person. So anytime I know that you are, let's say, a filmmaker working to make like more sustainable knowledge available for people, let's say that's your company. But when I talk to you, that I see you as a human being, you know, and we exchange on. That's why they call themselves as a lab, and it's a really wonderful place filled with a lot of plants and water, and it's amazing. So the thing is, I could think of something like the starting of the event to have a ritual of like how the people enter, like maybe wash their hands, or I don't know. So is that something like this what we are talking about? Oh yes.
Okay. That's a wonderful idea. You know, I never thought about it, but especially in the middle of a pandemic, ritualizing, washing of the hands, so that it's not just something we have to do because we're afraid to get the virus, but it's something that is cleansing and communal. And like this, you know, people have been washing their bodies and washing their hands ever since humans have existed, without this fear over our heads. So I think that's a lovely idea.
Yes. Because they're making a lot of planting. There are really like, they're making like macro biological planting. So I could think of like everybody plants a seed, maybe, or I don't know, whatever.
I mean, the point of the ritual section is to get everybody in their bodies in the place. That is just a gorgeous idea. I beg you, if you do that, take pictures and take video. That's so meaningful and moving, what you just said.
Okay, cool. That's really nice. And then a question, I mean, I'm sure there is a way to include, but what you say in the structure. So this is the one. Second, let's say what I create with the people, a performance and so on.
Yeah.
Then the third one was to have the 5 minute, the global dance, no? Like now I'm thinking how to, because I mean, I don't know yet how it will look like, but let's say we had like a field with music, like I'm gonna work with some more repetitive music, like from musicians who are working with minimalistic music probably.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering how it fits after each other, that it might feel a bit, what is this now, you know, after it, like the music, that it's like something finished, you know, and then other thing to start. So I don't know.
I have a suggestion. I've seen site leaders do this transition expertly well with a simple statement, something to the effect. So we just saw a performance or had an experience that is about our place, our issues, the beauty of the water near us, the beauty of the water in us, or, you know, very us focused. But this is an issue and this is a work that is worldwide. Yeah. And one way to remember that is to move the same way hundreds of people are moving in other parts of the world. And we want to share that dance with you now. And if you have the kind of audience that is interested, and if you are interested in, not only can you show your dancers, not only can your dancers do global dance, but you can set it up that they learn the global dance online or in rehearsal with you beforehand, so that then they are a part of that. So it doesn't feel like that was one thing, now this is, it's like, okay, now join us, or, you know, let us, this is what happened my first year. I was in a park in New York City. It was a huge lawn. There were so many of us performers. There were so many different dance companies and community groups performing. And the global dance, you know, everybody, all of the dancers learned the global dance because we had a series of rehearsals. But I think because the audience, because us dancers, there were so many of us, I think the audience didn't understand that that was still a part of the performance, and they just got up and did the global dance with us. And so half of the people that were dancing, that was the first time they did it. And it was my mentor and I just yelling, okay, now form a line, we'll be a stream. Okay, now follow me, we're a river. Okay, now we're an ocean splash. So anything is possible. I will say also that as your first event, you're obviously a capable choreographer. I can tell that. And a capable organizer. I can tell that in your questions. So go for it. Be big, be bold, be fabulous like you already are in your other work, but also you can do things simple with this.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. No, thank you. I appreciate this, like what you say, that I can just put a cut, let's say, and talk maybe a moment and say like, okay, this is like happening. And then maybe invite also the audience, let's say, that we have tomorrow, no, 13th, the thing, so they can join in and put it out on big screen.
That would be great. That would be so great, right? They just saw your dancers do the global dance, and then you could say, tomorrow, join the Zoom meeting, and you can do it with like hundreds of people in the world. I love that idea. And then there's also the participatory dance, which is super, super simple.
Yeah. That's the fourth one, right?
That's the fourth, exactly. You got it, Anna, you got it.
Sorry, I'm joining late, but yeah, I have it, I'm on the track. So cool, thank you, Natasha. I have all the questions covered, thank you.
And if you have any more, email info@Global Water Dances, Vanya or I will get back to you you know, someone will get back to you very, very soon. And we're so happy that you're a part of our family. I have a friend living in Geneva who's moving to Barcelona. I would like your permission to put the two of you in after global. You have a lot on your table, so not right now.
Don't worry.
But, she's a dancer.
I have also a friend in Switzerland, a Spanish friend, and we want to collaborate. So I do looking forward to try to establish connections towards Switzerland. So
when you do that, please include me.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love to be a part of anything that you're doing.
Yeah, really nice. So don't worry, you don't need to wait. Put me in touch with her, and anything works. Like, yeah. By the way, you are not on, so per email, no? I guess.
Yeah, it would be email, old fashioned. What's the name of your friend living in Switzerland, and where's your friend?
Abraham Iglesias. Yeah, he was dancing in Germany in a dance theater for some years, and now he just moved with his boyfriend together in Switzerland.
What part of Switzerland?
In I don't know.
Zurich, Lausanne, Geneva, Bern, Basel.
Either Geneva or Basel, but I think it's Geneva, I think. But
and are they interested in doing talk to them about the project, and if they're interested in joining, tell them that they can get in contact with me.
Okay, yeah, cool.
It doesn't matter. I'm in Geneva, but it doesn't matter. If they're interested, I'll figure out. I'll put them in contact with someone or figure out how to connect them.
Okay, I talked to Abraham for sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to meet you, Anna. Yeah, good luck with everything. Stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice to meet you also.
Zandy, thank you.
I'm now in Okinawa as well.
Yes. So it worked, Zandy?
Yes, it's done.
Yay! I want to see it. I want to see it.
In Japan as well, yes.
Wait, don't hang up yet. I want to see it. I think I have to refresh my page. And let's see. Yay!
Perfect.
Oh, that makes me so happy. You're 116th on the list. One of my favorite numbers. That's wonderful, Sandy.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Are you doing flamenco too?
Yes. Yes. Flamenco.
Really?
Sorry, flamenco.
My God, because I love, and my friend Abraham, actually, he's from Buto, and we had a we have a special connection through these things.
Yeah, I'm changing from flamenco to Buto.
Yeah, the thing is, there is something connecting them, definitely. Like, there is a very deep, special presence. Yeah, and in
contact improv as well. We do contact improv.
We should get in touch a bit more.
Well, we need some connection one day.
Yeah, really nice.
That would be wonderful. When the pandemic is over, you will do an exchange. Japan and Spain.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And it's just been a great pleasure. Have a wonderful day and stay in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gabrielle, are you there? I see your beautiful picture, but I didn't get to hear from you. I just wanted to check in. Maybe you're not able to talk. Well, just in case you're there and you can't hear me, thanks so much for joining. And I'm going to end the meeting now and be in touch with email if you have any questions. Bye.